Yay, hi, we're live again, even though nobody is ever here with me. I know, I'm here, and my best friend is here with me too. Anyway, hey guys, I don't know if anybody reads the descriptions when I make the videos, but today I wanted to be brave again and try to let you know a little bit about me. I've never really assumed anybody, other than the few acquaintances and family friends I had through my life, wanted to know, too much about me. But I figure as people start to watch this channel, and I have faith that they will, that they'll want to know who I am or maybe how I came to be. I don't know. Like I said before, writings, I would want to know who I was watching. So I try to share that. So, um, I intro myself. I want to get into what happened to me over the last year. It was funny because when I woke, the third eye awakening, I called it at the title. When I woke last spring of 2020, I was looking up some videos. I'd heard of a Kundalini awakening, third eye awakenings. Of course, I knew Prince, third eye, stuff like that. But I never knew really what it was. And so I was Googling and YouTubing. I especially remember looking at this one video where this guy was talking about how he had this Kundalini awakening at work, and he was a waiter at work, and all these strange things happened to him. So maybe that'll help you to understand what I mean. That's what some people call it. That's not exactly, I don't think, what happened to me. But if you Google that type of thing, it was super intense, and it's like if you've ever done acid or anything like that, then it's like that, but not being on acid. So, and yes, as part of my history, I've done that. So, I wasn't always the the giggly 50-year-old that you see sitting before you now. um, I've had 50 birthdays. That's no secret. I don't count age, and if you don't celebrate time, you don't age. So, plus good lighting never hurts. That's why there's always a glare on my glasses. Anyway, um, so me, Elizabeth, I told you guys before, I'm the mother of four. My girls are in their 30s, and they basically each have three kids. And I have a son who's 18. He has no children. So, but other than that, me, myself, I am the third of four siblings. And one sibling is still around. My older sister, she's in Grand Rapids, and my younger sister, as I mentioned in other videos, she committed suicide when she was 19. You guys, I don't do it for sympathy. I tell you because it's factual and actual, and these things I say because they actually helped me in my walk, my spiritual journey to find out who I was, learning from God and how he was there for me and everything with all the stuff that I went through. So, she had laid down on like a park, a nice little park, and laid out a blanket and signed a suicide note saying who she was and who to contact, signed over her last paycheck and made all these arrangements, and, shot herself in the brain with a pretty big gun. And myself and my mother drove down to Florida to, handle the affairs, and had a funeral down there with the cremains and so forth. A beautiful funeral. Tiffany, she released doves and rose petals, and it was the most beautiful funeral I've ever been to. I don't know if I was feeling it at that time, but anyway, I don't want to drone on about that. Brought the cremains back and had another funeral here in Michigan. My mom became less of a woman after that. She was always vibrant and fun and full of life, and not without issues, of course, but that was in July of 92 that my sister did that. And then my mother, July 6th, 1992, and my mother passed October 14th of 1993 of inoperable lung cancer. So she found out quite quickly. And, she did hospice in her own house. I helped to take care of her. I would give her morphine in her stomach tube and feed her. And to this day is one of the reasons I can't listen to one of those twisty, tick-tocky alarm clocks. But we all have our things. So, sorry, those things are I never know what I'm going to say. And then, so therefore, I don't know where I'm going all the time. Anyway, I think I was talking about how many people I had left in my family. And then my brother and my dad reside in another state. And I basically haven't seen or talked to them since I was 13. It would be an interesting chat. I'm a forgiving person, so there's a lot that would be forgiven that has been forgiven. I don't think I really have any unforgiveness in my heart, and if I do, I hope for that and pray for that to be cleansed. So anyway, it's really just me. I have my kids, but they're in their 30s, and my son is 18, and staying with some roommates right now, and I know that the Creator put me in this position so that I would have all this time for learning and to do things. I didn't just show up one day with all this knowledge. However, I have been what people would refer to as book smart my whole life. I don't say it in a braggy way. It's just something that it was cool when I was in heaven the day that I died, July 20th, 2010. It was one of the things that was shown to me in my books of life, or when, again, people say that your life flashed before you, but it doesn't really, my situation didn't flash, but it was like everything that I'd ever done made absolute sense. I mean, from everything, which is why I'm here now talking to you. So, anyway, you guys, as that kid, I had the siblings and we grew up, and it was, my dad was an alcoholic and drank Pabst Blue Ribbon every day. He was abusive both to us children and my mother. I got the least of it as far as all the kids were concerned, and I tended to have a big mouth, and it got away with the most. However, same one that offered myself up when you're getting spanked with a switch and you see welts appearing on your little sister's chubby legs, and you say, okay, I did it, just to make it stop. That was me too. So I was always looking for an angle to help. Couldn't stand seeing pain, and all I saw around me as a kid was pain. At my house a lot. I mean, we had a lot of fun, and stuff like that. We did have a lot of fun. But and this isn't a woe is me type thing. I'm just trying to let you know how I grew up, because I'm not, it's not like my personality is all, it's not fake, but it is who I am, even after all the things that have happened to me, is what I'm trying to say, because I know that there's people out there who, countless tragedies and things, and it's not a comparison. It's not a game of whose is worse. It's a game of how to survive it. And how to find your soul through all the madness. And eventually that's where I'll get with my story, hopefully. Again, you guys, every single time with the battery, but you know what? It's always here. Ouch. This time I hit my head on the table. Just every single time. From now on, I think I'll try to plug that in. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So, see, just little things like that trying to break my concentration. So, my parents smoked weed. I grew up thinking it was perfectly normal, and it's like the hippie life. It's like a lot of people have, Woodstock, whatever. Yes, I still smoke. I do. It was made by the Creator, and I try to stay as chemical free as possible. And I don't use crazy substances. So just know that about me. I'm not crazy, but I do lose my train of thought a lot. Not because of the smoke, but because of, partially. But anyway, that just goes to show how honest I am, you guys. I don't want to hide anything from you. If I want you to come and watch my videos, I have to be me. And I'm not afraid of anything. I have reverence for my Creator and the utmost respect and love. However, I know that He knows every bit of me, so I have nothing to hide. And to think that you could hide anything would be ridiculous anyway, which is why I'm sharing it with you. I'm not afraid. And it's legal, so in Michigan. But that's why I say these videos aren't for kids, influence. It's not for everybody. Anyway, you guys, because I had lots to hide from in my childhood, I turned inward. I read every single thing I could get my hands on. I excelled at school. I was pulled out of class and put in, special classes and this and that. But what I mean to say is that was my safe place, was school. And I wanted to do as best as I could there because it pleased me. And I could see that it pleased my teachers and everybody else in a way that I had never experienced at home. So I think that I must have, enjoyed schooling that way in a lot of ways that people may not, and reading, because it was a way for me to get lost and learn about other ways of life and to feel things arise within me that I knew would draw me closer to what I didn't know then as a child was God, but it was. So, you know, started having children. Well, I got pregnant when I was 15. I had my first daughter when I was 16, another at 18. And by the time I was 18, I had 3 daughters. But guess what, you guys? During that time, I finished high school. I was in a program for young parents, and I rode my bike to school at 10 speed, an old school 10 speed in the snow, to get my high school diploma while I was pregnant. And then I went on to college. Might have been community college, and I might not have graduated, but you know what? I never gave up. I went 3 times, and I had to drop out 3 times because I was working full time as mostly a single mom and excelling at that too. Um, but I never did get college degrees, so no plaques on my walls, just sincerity and wisdom and honesty and a soul of gold. Uh, anyway, I always wanted to go to college to be an obstetrics nurse because from the time I had my first daughter, I was 16 and it was a 3 hour back labor, and all the doctors stood around clapping. And, it was like the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I cursed like I don't even know what. But the miracle of life, man, it blew my mind. And at 16 years old, I pushed her out in 7 minutes, and the next one came out in 10 minutes. And don't even think about no crude jokes. The creator gave me the power to create the babies. It was part of what was told to me when I passed too, that I was made to be a mother. And that's why my family has experienced so much blessing as far as family and genetics and DNA. And that's why each and every one of my girls, my eldest is on her third child, the middle daughter is on her third child, and my youngest daughter had just gave birth to her third child. So altogether, well, I'm about to have 9 grandchildren. So we're really blessed genetically. And so it was uh, it was beautiful to stand there in those heavenly places and hear him tell me that that's like my motherness was, because like when I answered things about myself, I was like, well, I haven't really accomplished much. Hi, thank you. I can't see your name because I don't have my glasses on. I haven't, well, I stood there in the heavenly places, and and they asked what I thought I was good at or what I could do. And I always tried to be good at everything, but I just didn't feel like I'd accomplished much. And the creator told me that it was the motherhood aspect of me or something like that. So that felt really good. Um, and golly, see, I lost my train of thought again. Um, I think I was just basically saying that, that's who I am and that's who the family was. Some things that have had happen to me. I just wanted to kind of introduce you to where I came from, and that I just didn't appear here like this. Because I always try to be joyful, and I'm very, very grateful, and gratefulness leads to a very joyful heart. Um, and what I really wanted to do was, after I introduced myself more to you guys, was to tell you more about. Well, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Uh, During those experiences with my mom and my sister, and then it's not just that, you guys. And again, this is not a woe is me story. It's to let you know what I've been through and learned from and continue to learn from. And maybe eventually I'll make a video on how we can all learn together and how to use it. Because, well, one of my daughters has suffered for like the last 10 years. She has been in and out of rehab, went to prison once for 9 months. Um, heroin, meth, drugs. My niece, who is like my very daughter, she passed in 2017, Daniela, um, of an overdose. And I know I mentioned that before, but I mention it to remind you, if you've seen the other videos, how big opioids and how tragic they've been in my family. My sister was not on any when she killed herself, and my mom wasn't on anything either, because this epidemic that we find ourselves in is relatively recent. However, my daughter, and that's why I know so much about the Prince investigations too, as I mentioned, because through these things and through my own personal experience with having back surgery and that I had in '04, and having had things wrong with the hip and the back and uh, I have lots of experience with medication and things like that. So, and I've also been able to come off of all of those. So that's another part of my story. But that came later, because I could show you guys a picture of me in 2013, give or take, where, because of all the medication that I was on, I was up to 244 pounds for the only time in my life. And I didn't recognize myself. And it was all a whole big lesson that I learned in that part of my life. But it was very much not the woman that you see sitting here before you. So my point is too, that I've been shaped and molded. And I take lessons from every single thing that comes my way, because, well, not only the music saved me through all of that, the Prince music, and like Another Lonely Christmas, and falling asleep with my head by the speaker and just getting lost in it. We played Still Would Stand All Time at my sister's funeral. That was my pick. That's kind of how I fell in love with that song. It talked about a love that would stand all time, which is the Creator's love, a love that's never going to let anybody or anything bad or evil get in the way of it. And it's going to stand so strong and so fast that everybody's going to feel it until eternity. And it's coming real soon. Anyway, we played that at her funeral, but she had also requested in her suicide letter that we play in the sunshine, because that was one of her favorite songs, because she was a listener too. My whole family is 3 generations, everybody in the family, Anyway, we played Play in the Sunshine, and in 92 we had a tape cassette that we put in at the funeral home, and it was really cute, because at the end of Play in the Sunshine, it ran right into Housequake, and he went on to say, "Shut up already, damn," before they cut it off. So it gave a good little chuckle inside, and I knew that somebody was in charge of that. So that was pretty awesome memory. Anyways, Still Would Stand All Time. I wrote it in my journal, and I have asked that if I pass away, that be played at my funeral, because it's up there with the favorites. Probably the favorite, if that's a funeral song, I'd have to say probably the favorite. They're so hard to call a favorite. I don't know how long you guys are willing to watch these videos, but I know I watch my Rabbi Rab drawer for sometimes, an hour. It's, I don't really ever time them out. One moment, please. Sorry. I have to get some straws for those so I don't dribble on my white sweater. Anywho's, all the stuff that ever happened to me, and like I've been in jail for drunk driving for 15 days. I got bit by a snow leopard at the zoo. I was A-okay. I've experimented with, drugs in the past, but I was never like a user, not besides anything that my doctor gave me. But, I'm talking about in my teens, and we partied and we were at the bar every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But you know what? My kids and my family were always priority, and nobody ever went without, because Creator was always there looking out. But don't let me fool you into thinking that I ain't had some hard times. It's just that I don't talk about them, because I'm not a woe is me type person. It's not about what has made my life worse than yours, or look at me, I'm such a survivor. It's just to say, hey, we got this and that going on in common. And like I said, if you know me a little bit better, then maybe you'll be more prone to watch some of the other videos. So there's that. And then basically, you guys, my professional adult life, if you're interested, was spent, I went from bagging groceries to, but majority of my life was spent as a family photographer at your major portrait studios, and as a mortgage loan officer for various mortgage companies. That's where I spent most of my time. As far as that aspect of myself, that is not who I am. My soul is who I am. But those are the things that I did with my life. And I took care of my family by myself, mostly without state assistance, and was not the stereotypical young teenage mother of 3 and then 13 years later, 4, because my son came 13 years later. Um, it's just not. And people can be success stories no matter what the media sells you, or no matter where you yourself may have grown up in. Uh, so it's kind of a success story. I feel like a success. I'm sitting here talking to you fine people. And I do have a story to tell, and it is going to be the greatest story ever told. Truly, truly. I know those are big words, but it's true. I'm going to flash forward a little bit. Really important part of what had happened to me was that, and I didn't remember it until several months ago, but when I passed away, the creator told me that I was going to go to Maui. And why that is, I don't really want to get into now. That's a subject for another whole video. But while I was there in Maui, I stayed at Wailea Beach Resort. Um, from what I have studied and what I understand since then, is that that is an area. If you go on any website or anywhere and you look up things about what they call Hawaii, I don't even like to say the word because it's such a misspeak of what really is. So I try to say Maui because that's where I went. So anyway, I was in the Wailea Beach. I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I went and I had the opportunity to snorkel and go in a submarine, and I was led all around the road to Hana by the concierge, my granddaughter's Peepaw out there. So I had the trip of a lifetime. What I mean to say is that when I was in the ocean, I got tumbled like a dirty load of laundry. I went out there with neck pain, and after I got tumbled, I came up out of the water and I said, man, I feel like I just went to the chiropractor. And long story longer, when I got back to the mainland here in Michigan, I had no more pain in my body and have experienced only goodness and blessing since then too. So it's been a part of my journey. But I wanted to say that because I didn't know it when I was out there, that it was like an energy type field, like ley lines and different things like that. It's so there's a little bug in here. So near the equator, that it creates certain energy fields, and our creator is very powerful there. So that happened in August of 2019. Now, when I got back after New Year's 2020 was the spring of 2020. So flash forward, here we are. I know I mentioned it before in one of the other videos, but in my mind, in the spring of 2020, when, I don't watch TV, but you would see on your phone or the, Google News that COVID was creeping in and that social distancing was going to become a thing and that Wuhan, China was responsible. And, and then all of a sudden my son's out of school. And we're on this schedule where I went from one schedule of playing piano and learning how to play Purple Rain and being wide awake to this aspect of like darkness coming on the world. When I heard the word social distancing, the weather around Michigan in the spring of 2020 was very dark. It was very dark and very dreary. Now, that's not unusual in and of itself in Michigan, that's for sure. But it was especially dreary, and I could feel a dark energy coming on. I could feel it. In fact, on April 7th, there was a thunderstorm, a lightning storm in our neighborhood, and I actually had instance. I'm looking on my phone right now because part of what I wanted to do, you guys, was jog my memory about the spring of 2020. and I have to look at my phone because I have literally thousands of memories, because as I was going through all of these things, this awakening, I was taking, I mean, I think I don't know, 20, 30, 40,000 photos. I don't know how many. I pay for a lot of storage. Um, it's very well documented what I went through. And I'm sure it's all for a reason. And I can't share it all because I don't have the technological ability here. But I figured I could probably show you a couple of things that were really cool. Love Sexy CD. You know, what is the, I can never remember the lyrics, you guys, when I'm doing these live videos. Lightning all around me. That's when he called his name. Don't you know it found me? Electric saying I'll be okay some dying day. And I know that was the only way till my dying day. That song. Sorry, I have to do that. It was a trip because when I heard the electrical storm and saw the electrical storm and I recorded it, I actually said it's like there's. Hold on 1 second. I don't know. It's probably not very professional of me to do that. So you guys, I know that you're like probably like, so what? That's just a thunderstorm. But when that thunderstorm came in, it was like a lightning storm. And in one of these videos, I start praying. I started saying what has been taught as the Lord's Prayer. I started talking about the age of Aquarius. If I knew which one it was, or I was better prepared, I could play it for you. How there was a feminine energy coming into the world and how we needed to be fasting, pay attention to what we were eating. Our food was poison. I was saying the Lord's Prayer, and I was saying that anybody around my age could feel this darkness coming into the universe, because it was like I didn't know it then, but you know, it was him telling me these things, and I would write them down and I would take screenshots of the most random things. This is one of the pictures out my back door. After the thunderstorm, you guys, hold on. These weird lights appeared. Okay, this is like right outside my door. Sorry about the glare. I'm showing you this because I want to show you this really trippy. Watch this. Tell me what you think of this, you guys. This is really cool. I think you'll enjoy it. My son and I have an odd sense of humor, so don't think that we're yelling at each other, because we're not. Hang on, you got to see this. Okay, so Isaiah said he didn't do this, and I didn't do it either.
Why is there like
because
a hand?
Yeah, right.
And then
look, it's rub it,
and then it looks like a smiley face.
Stop! You're tripping me out. You scared me.
Don't ever scream in my face. I'll kick you down the stairs.
You're the one that said it looks like a face.
It does.
Okay.
And something. Smile face.
But rub it so they can see that it's not on the inside. Look. Okay. Now open the door. No, wait. You're gonna have to get a little bit wet. Wait. Now I can't see it. Hold on. Stop.
That's not my hand.
Wait. But look. How is it even there?
Because that means someone put their dirt on it before.
But why is it like that? No, don't mess it up too much. See, why would it just stick to it like that out there? Okay, you guys. So why is that relevant? Wait till you see the screenshots that we got from that video. Watch this. What is that, you may ask? My daughters took a screenshot of it and said it looked like a face or a hand or something trying to get in. This is a screenshot of that exact moment. So why am I showing you this? To let you know that I had some paranormal activity at my house. You can see the handprint, and you can see an eye and an eye. Oops, sorry, you guys. And a mouth. Okay. There's a lot of things going on there. So here, what am I saying, you guys? Like, he arrived. These things, they're not just spiritual, but I've had some physical, paranormal type events in my life as well. It's just hard to get people to listen or to believe me. So I want you to see something. I'm going to try to show you guys something. When I, dang it, one moment. I really can't think of any better way to do this. I truly apologize. I want to show you what happens when you don't sleep for 4 days. Sorry, let me get that glare off there. I was awake for 4 days straight. I thought I was losing my mind. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I was studying this Latin alphabet. I mentioned this in my other video. This is how I do the gematria. It's a shorthand code or something that breaks down the letters. So if you use this, which you guys can go ahead and grab a screenshot of if you like. Let me get that light off of here. Hold on. That doesn't help. I suck at this, right? Okay, here you go. Take a screenshot of that. Okay. Now, what that is super relevant because when you take the word social distancing and all the other gematria type words that I was doing and deciphering and being shown to do, you will see, as I mentioned in yesterday's pie video, that the word social distancing comes out with the numerics of 314, 413, 314, 413, which spells pi. So what I'm saying is when social distancing came upon us, the word that we had never heard before, it struck a chord in me because of that reason, because it held that mathematical equation in it. So I know I went from the video there with the little screenshot to the thing and that I wasn't sleeping. Here is some of the work that I was doing on the whiteboard. You can see I was taking the word social distancing, and you see how the pattern of 413, 413, 314. This is from the spring of 2020. You can also see down at the bottom the words breakdown and how I was trying to match up patterns and music and various things that were being told to me to do that I had no idea what I was doing. I also, made sure, as I said, that I got out my Bibles and books and my Kabbalistic writings that I had started studying in 2013 and all kinds of stuff. So all of those things were happening all at once, while at the same time, like, I experienced something so trippy, you guys, and one of my daughters can vouch for me. While I was doing all that, studying the Kabbalah, reading, writing, listening to the music, I would go to sleep with headphones in my ears, and I was writing maps to Prince music, maps of Maui and various maps of other places and things, which I don't really know what they are. But the really trippy thing, what was I going to tell you guys? I forgot. There was so many things that I forgot which particular trippy thing I was going to tell you about. I would listen to I didn't even feel like I try to think back on what it felt like. I felt like I was somebody else living in somebody else's body. I was burning candles constantly, burning incense. It was like, in retrospect, I guess it was like being possessed, but in a really good way. Something just took over me. And I know now, it was like the creator, because everything that he told me and showed me last year is actually coming to fruition this year. And then because of that, I can remember when I passed away that he told me that that's how it was going to go down, but I'm trying to stay a little bit more focused. So he came, he announced himself with the lightning storms and various things like that. We started unraveling not only the words, but how the word breakdown and the song breakdown, the one that came out. Well, I believe it was released New Year's Eve 2012 at 11:57, and then first heard on 1/19 of 2013. So the 1/19 goes with some of the numbers that we were talking about yesterday too. they all go together. It's all codes and patterns. And now I'm getting off subject because that's what I'm best at. But anyway, spring of 2020, you guys, I would listen to YouTube videos in one headphone. I would have like 3 pens in one hand. I was writing. I actually strapped granola to my desk with duct tape so that I didn't have to move or eat from what I was doing. This picture is pretty cool because if you can see it without the glare, hold on. You can see where the whiteboard and the social distancing started to tell me Helix lies, New Year's Eve, Helix lies. That's what it says. And then it would give me all these codes and patterns and various stuff like that. So I was really freaking out, not knowing what was going on. But then the term pi kept popping into my head, and the Kabbalistic tree of life and the Sephiroth and all the different things. This one too. Wow. See, because these things take me back. You can see that I'm using that little list to now. Can I look at this and tell you exactly what I was doing in the spring of 2020? Nope, not really, because it wasn't just me. Like, who does this rationally on their own? So the reason I say that is to let you know that it is the creator that's with me, that I'm not just crazy. And it's probably a little weird that I'm showing you my phone, but man, I have some trippy stuff to show you guys. And like I said, I just don't have the technology to, like, I don't know, upload I don't know. I wish I did. Most of all, during that time, you guys, the whispering that I was hearing in my ear, the telepathic stuff that I was hearing in my ear was talking about Prince, World War III, Asia, Helix lies, the pi equation, space, Tesla. If you open up the Beautiful Ones book and you look on the page where 1999 is all drawn out and they have the little flying monkey on the spaceship and all the stuff that everybody's like, what the heck is that? That's what that is. It's the false reality that we live in. It's the digital haze that has been built around us. And it's like that can of worms is opening up before my eyes. So that's what I'm going to get that bug. That's why it all seems so trippy, you guys, because, when you listen to his music, that it seemed to take place in a past and present sort of way. So my mind and the hearing is always kind of halfway between the past and halfway into now. And so always thank you for hanging in there. But most of all, between hearing the songs break down and knowing that in 2013 that song told me that he was going to be broke down, starting to study Hebrew, which had always drawn me in my life and in my soul journey. I felt like if that's the language and those are the people, then why is that? And I went to go find it, but what I found didn't seem real. So I kept on looking, and that's where the Dead Sea Scrolls and the things that aren't publicized so much outside of mainstream media have to be found. But the voice started telling me that the Prince voice, like, told me by telepathy and showed me, I don't know, 20,000 pictures I have on here from the CCTV TMZ video that supposedly shows him walking in and out of the doctor, that they use holograms on, and it shows a little 666 or upside down 1999 on it. I'll upload it today. I promise it'll be there. To him telling me last year to start watching the investigation, to him telling me that he was going to be with me and I was going to get better and better and better at hearing from him. Only I didn't know what was going on last year. I really didn't. But the reason I do now is because everything that happened from the spring of 2020 is like a rerun this year. So this year, 2021, has been like a rerun for me of last year. It's like I was put to sleep last year in the spring of 2020 when COVID came in, and now here it is 2021 and I'm awake. And then if you watch any of the other videos where I talk about how we're in the year 2021, and the Hebrew year has gone from the year 21 to 22, and explained one more card, and it's 22. All these things come together, you guys. I was told and shown some pretty frightening things when I was awoke. And let me jump back to something real quick. Video's getting kind of long. One of the things that had happened to me was I would watch YouTube videos randomly about UFOs or SCPs. I think I mentioned on one of my videos before, if you look up SCP, they on YouTube, they pass it off like it's some kind of virtual reality alien game, but it's not really virtual reality. So through my son, I was able to learn about that and had a lot of things exposed to me. But like I said, it was like I was sleeping and something else just came and just, put all these thoughts and things on me. So it was told to me then that I know I'm jumping around. Hold on, let me stay focused. I wanted to finish something. I read this article that was talking about a place where my daughter worked in Grand Rapids, and it was talking about concrete and how the road was going to be replaced. That's what the article said, plain as day. However, when I read the article, in my mind, it told me something about my grandchildren being kidnapped and replaced with clones. And I wrote it down, and I took notes, and I have them. And I picked up the phone and I called my daughter at 2:00 in the morning, and I told her not to go to work the next day. Now, I cannot recall if that was a Friday and it was Monday that she went to work, or if it was the very next day. I can't recall. But it was the next time that she went to work. I told her when she got there not to go to work because they were going to be there to collect her DNA, because it was right when the came out and everybody was testing. And lo and behold, having no prior knowledge that anybody was doing anything like that, her job when she went in, there they were to collect her DNA along with 6 other employees. And she can attest to that. So that was like one of the first things that I remember, like specifically hearing something that came out to be true, that I don't know why about the concrete thing and the whole thing or how that came together. But sometimes things that seem like they have no connection whatsoever are very connected. We just can't see it or hear it in this normal reality that we live in. Since I'm so in touch with my spirit and the soul that's been shared all this stuff with me, I can hear all kinds of crazy stuff, fun stuff, awesome stuff. But it's stuff that makes me responsible for sharing it with you. And I don't want a video to go too long. So I'll probably try to recenter myself and maybe do another video and continue on, because I kind of lost my train of thought. I need to reset. But I wanted to, like I said, just share with you guys some of the things that were happening. I probably won't promote this video anywhere. So if you happen to watch it on YouTube, cool. If you don't, you don't. But you guys do need to like and subscribe so we can promote the truth on the other videos, okay? I mean, it's all the truth, but it's a matter of what you want to watch. I'm trying to get more organized and more thoughtful about what I'm saying and how I can actually help you guys through what I'm saying, and how to connect your own selves to the Creator. Not to learn what I'm saying, but eventually maybe how I got some of the knowledge, or the knowledge that I'm getting because of the things that I've done, the ways that I've prayed, meditated, because it's not the way that the world has been taught. Not at all. It's actually the biggest lie that the world is ever going to experience. There's a book in every hotel room. There's a reason for that. It's not because our world promotes what's good, because it doesn't. We live in a Sodom and Gomorrah. And as I explained in the pie video yesterday, the America is the Merkava. It's the false reality. It's what was created for all the souls to be at that need correction. And each and every one of us that is here, we're not dirty little sinners like some of the real legions teach, but we do need correcting in our souls, each and every one of us. And it's going to happen fast. And you either have to learn how to connect with that soul through your Creator and be who you really are, and by way of that, express love to the world and make the world a better place that we can all ascend together, because negativity and darkness and following along with the plan the RDIF plan, RFID. I always forget the chip. They want your soul, and so do I, by way of the Creator wanting your soul, because I'm His messenger, and that's what I'm here to tell you. I made a post today on Facebook. I kind of remember hearing something about 31/21 is Halloween this year. I guess you skipped the 10, but Halloween is 31/21. You can come if you want to, but you can never leave. I'm not trying to make predictions, you guys. I've done that before and I've been wrong, and that's cool. It's what the numbers do to my brain, and who's to say there's not things happening in other realms? It doesn't matter to me. I was trying to do it to help, not to be cool or to be somebody I'm not. So, just don't be surprised if things start popping off pretty soon, you guys. And if you watch my other videos, or you want to see anything in particular or hear about anything in particular, please let me know. I'm going to dive a little more into the ley lines and the energy fields, and why I came back from Maui with so much extra energy, and some other creepy things and crazy things and paranormal things that happened to me, and beautiful things in the spring of 2020 that all led me here to come and talk to you now. It enables me to share the investigation with you, because we're really all going to crack it all wide open, because it all really does go together. I promise. Thank you. I am happy. I just sometimes lose my train of thought. Bye, guys. Thank you.